You know, we all think we know what discipline looks like, but what if the most powerful version of it is the one you can't even see? Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on the silent architecture of truly unstoppable discipline, the kind that works when nobody is watching.
So let me ask you something right off the bat. Do you really, really understand discipline? Because we all have this picture in our heads, but I'm willing to bet that picture is just the very tip of the iceberg. When you hear the word discipline, I'm sure things like this pop into your head, right? That 5 a.m. alarm clock, or, hitting the gym even when you're exhausted. And yeah, for sure, those are forms of discipline. But they're the obvious part. They're the stuff that gets noticed. But the real power, the immense unseen force that's actually driving everything forward, well, that lies way beneath the surface. And that brings us to this huge, huge distinction. On one side, you have loud discipline. It runs on motivation, it loves the hype, it feeds on applause. But on the other side, that's where you find silent discipline. It needs zero motivation, there's no hype, there's absolutely no applause, it just works. So let's dive into that. Let's explore that hidden dimension of discipline, the kind that actually shows up when the motivation has packed its bags and left. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? The real test is never about what you do when you're in the spotlight. It's about what you do when no one, not a single person, would even know if you decided to quit. That's where real strength is built. So how do you even build something like that? Well, it starts with the first pillar, what we'll call the automatic mind. This is all about separating what you do from how you feel. And this right here is the absolute game changer. That whole internal debate we have with ourselves, oh, do I feel like it today? That question is just gone. It's been deleted from the equation. They've trained themselves to just bypass that feeling completely. The action happens no matter what the mood is. There's actually a term for this in psychology. It's called automaticity, and it's pretty simple when you break it down. It's when a habit is so deeply ingrained that it's like breathing. You don't need to get hyped up for it. It runs on pure consistency. A bad day can't derail something that's running on autopilot. Okay, so once you start building that automatic mind, the next piece of the puzzle, pillar number 2, is all about mastering delayed gratification. This is about making a conscious choice for the long-term win over the short-term treat. And look, the shift in thinking here is subtle, but it is so, so powerful. This isn't about telling yourself never. It's not about total deprivation. It's just about having the control to say, not now. It's about choosing progress over pleasure, over and over and over again. And it's not just a nice idea, right? The science on this is crystal clear. Decades of research have shown that people who get good at this aren't just more successful. They are genuinely calmer, they're more centered, and they feel like they are in the driver's seat of their own lives. Now that's real power. Which brings us to our third pillar, and this one is just brilliant. It's about building systems over relying on feelings. Instead of depending on willpower, which is like a battery that drains, you engineer your environment for success. Just take a look at this comparison. This is the difference. Most people live on the left side. They wake up, check in with their feelings, and then maybe decide to act. The disciplined person, they live on the right. They've already made the decision. They've built a trigger. It's time, so it gets done. End of discussion. And again, there's a name for this trick. It's called an implementation intention. It's a super simple if-then plan. For example, if it's 6 a.m., then I will put on my running shoes. That simple little rule just removes the need for all that mental debate and excuse making. You don't decide anymore, you just do. All right, pillar number 4. Now this one might feel a little backward, especially in the world we live in today. It's the power of silence. So here's what happens in your brain. It's like a little trap. Step 1, you go and announce your big new goal to everyone. Step 2, your brain gives you a little hit of dopamine. It feels great. And that leads to step 3. You feel rewarded before you've actually done any of the work. That feeling of accomplishment can actually kill your motivation to start. The person with silent discipline, they don't fall for it. They know that talking is cheap and can even be counterproductive. So they don't talk. They just execute. They let the results do all the talking for them. Okay, so we've got our 4 pillars: the automatic mind, delayed gratification, systems over feelings, and the power of silence. But what are they all holding up? They're supporting the final transformation where discipline stops being a thing you do and becomes a part of who you are. Because the scariest, most powerful level of discipline,
It has nothing to do with controlling your schedule or your to-do list. That's just basic organization.
it's controlling your own mind. It's when you act, not because you're supposed to, not because you're motivated to, but because it is simply who you are. It's your identity. And that's really what it all comes down to. We'll leave you with this thought. Forget the big announcements and the hype. True, unbreakable discipline is quiet. It doesn't have to say a word, because its presence is felt in the results, day in and day out. It just shows up.